All right, now, so we're going to look at average. Okay, basically, when we talk about average, it is about calculating a group of numbers, then dividing by the count of those numbers. Now, what does they mean? What do they mean by this statement? Calculated by adding a group of numbers and then dividing. So you add and then you divide by the quantity or number of numbers. Okay, so simply when we see average, okay, when we talk about average, average is, first of all, to find average, you need to first add up all the numbers given, and then you divide the sum. Okay, so this sum is derived from step one, from step one. Derive the sum, divide the sum by the number of values. So for example, how many numbers are there? So in this case, the number of values is 4. So to find the average, you need to first find the sum, right? So the sum of the 4 numbers would be 6, 3, 8, and 5. Okay, 6, 3, 8, and 5. So if you find the sum, what do you have? 16, 22. Okay, so to find the average will be, you take the sum divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4. So the count of numbers is 4. So 22 divided by 4 to give me 5.5. Thank you, Bella. Okay. All right. So this is how you find the average. Now, number 1. Yeah, you're wondering why you got number 1 wrong. Yeah, I also wonder why. Okay, possibly is because they're just, you're supposed to be looking at extra steps. For example, during a donation drive, Madeline and her 3 sisters collected a total of this amount of money. Okay, so Madeline and her 3 sisters collected. Oh, who is Jinlong? Okay. Skylar is here. Okay, wait, I'm just trying to admit them in. Okay, all right. Okay, now, so Madeline and her 3 sisters. So how many people are there? How many people are there? You have Madeline and the 3 sisters. So there are a total of 4 people. 4.
4.
Yeah, 4 people, right? Okay. Now, collected a total of this amount in 4 days. So if you were to find out in what is the average in 1 day. So to find the average in 1 day would be, I take this total divided by 4 so that I get 1 day to give me 1,708. But because they ask for average amount for each of them, so I need to divide further. Okay, so divide further, so average, the average per person would be, I take 1,708 divided by 4 to give me $427.
Answer is
Okay?
5.
Okay, now, if you only did the first step, this one is only for average in 1 day. So they ask for average, each of them collected in 1 day. So that's an extra step. So this is your extra step. Okay, so this is your extra step. All right. Now, question 2. The average mass of a lion and a cheetah. Average mass of lion and cheetah. How many animals are there? So this is 2 animals. Okay, so the average mass is this. So once I have average, I can find the total. Now, the formula to find average would be average is equal to sum divided by the number or count or quantity. Whereas to find total, what do we need to do?
Do the opposite. You need to
do the
opposite.
opposite. So we take the average
Which
times the
times the number of count.
or the count. Okay? So
So
this
yeah.
is what we do. All right, now they tell us the average mass of two animals is 141. So that means we can now calculate the total mass of lion and cheetah. What's the total mass of lion and cheetah? Will be 141 times 2. Okay, so 141 times 2 will give me how much? Anyone? 200. Thank you. Okay. Now, I already found the total. Now they tell me that the lion's mass is more than cheetah. So simply, the lion's mass is more than the cheetah's mass. How much more? 43 kg more than the cheetah's mass, and their total is 282. Now,
So 2 units is 282 minus 43.
that's right. 282 minus 43 to give me 239. So to find 1 unit will be
239 divided by 2.
119
119 and a half or 119.5.
Okay, so now what is the question asking? You are supposed to find the mass of the lion, which is this. So what do you need to do?
The lion is 1 unit plus 43. So you take 119.5 plus 43 is
Thank you.
162.5.
Thank you. Okay, so that's 162.5. Okay, now, so for questions like this, if you are not sure and you simply see the keywords more than, right? Usually, I would encourage you to do this model to show that there is this part that's sticking out more than the other. Okay, so most of the time, you will forget this extra part on the model. Okay, so you have to be careful. Okay, now, from here onwards, okay, we talk about average. Okay, so, and we agree that if I take the number of items, so in this case, the number of people, how many?
12.
12. So there are 12, we're going to call them people, okay? So 12 people, the total height of 12 people is 1,798. The average height of 5 men is 137. So if I take the number of people, I times the average height. This will give me total height. So if there are 5 men and the average height is 137, that means what's their total height? 685. So I times, right? Now, and I know that the total height of 12 people, the total height is 1,798. So what do I do? You want to find the average height of the women, right? So that means the women will be 7. So what's the total height of the women? I take 1,798 minus 685 to give me how much? So to find the average height, so we know that the total height of 7 women is 1,113. Thank you. So we divide. So to find the average height of 1 woman will be, I take the total, divide by 7 to give me how much? To give me 159 cm. Okay? So I've introduced this table so that it's easy for you to arrange your information. Okay? Now we're going to look at number 4. So it says here the average height of 3 boys is 61. So number of boys, 3. Number of boys times the average height. So times the average height of 61 will give me the total height of the 3 boys, which is 183. So we know number of boys times the average height will give me the total height. Okay. Now, it also says the average height of 4 boys is 78. So that means the total height of the 4 boys will be 312. So we know that the change is there is an increase in the number of boys. Because of the increase, the total also increases. So can we find the height of the 4th boy? Can we find the height of the 4th boy? Anyone? How do I find the height of the 4th boy? Times then minus. Why do I need to times then minus? All I need to do is, to find the height of 4th boy, I take the total of the 4 boys minus the total of the 3 boys.
Yeah.
To give me how much? Hey, you want me to calculate for you? What's your answer?
129. 129.
Thank you.
And my calculator. So.
Yes. Okay? Okay. Alright, so that's number 4. Number 4. Now I'm going to go on to number 5. Okay, so for question 5, what do we have here? Now, they say that the average number of tarts in A, B, C is 48. So, number of tarts times the average number of tarts or number of containers. Average here would be number of containers. Okay, we take number of containers and times the average number of tarts to give us total tarts. Okay, now, so if we look at the first question, the first part of the sentence, what did it say? The average number of tarts in A, B, C. How many containers are there? 3 containers. The average is 48. Okay, so there are 3 containers A, B, C, and the average is 48. So that means the total number of tarts will be 144. Then they tell me that container A has how many tarts?
34.
Container A has 34. The number of tarts container B is 4 times C. The number of tarts in container B is how much? Is 4 times. Yes, so I put 4 unit container C. So I have this, right? I don't have any other information because these are actual number. So what does that mean? That means the total here, this will give you your total, which is equals to 144, right? Total equals to 144. So which means that I have 5 unit is equals to 144 minus 34 to give me 110. So 1 unit will be to give me
5 would be plus 22.
22. So there are 22 tarts in container C. Okay. Now, I've used the table, even though it's not necessary, so that I can actually organize my thoughts and information.